Hey everyone! It's been a bit since I'd updated you, so I had a second. I figured I'll hurry and give you an update. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I gotta get my brain working. I definitely have been having a hard time getting my brain going this morning. It's been a daze, like a fuzz, you know? Anyway, okay, so last video I was talking about trying to get my mental health in order. Well, since my last video, I kind of had a complete meltdown. I kind of lost the ground I was standing on. If I would call it standing on, more like trying to balance on a pin, and I definitely couldn't hold it, you know. And I guess I just didn't realize how bad it was getting, you know, because I was addressing it. I was trying to get better. I was trying to work through things. And it was almost like I was just holding so much and I couldn't hold it anymore, and it tumbled and fell. So honestly, I feel like it was divine intervention, though. And let me tell you why. All right, first, my stumble. I fell to pieces. And I took an entire weekend to myself, and I did some serious thought. I don't even know what to call it. I guess a meeting with myself. Like, what am I doing? What do I want? What do I need? How am I going to get through this? Where do I need to go from here? So I ended up seeing a therapist that weekend. He got me on the right track. He said, okay, your PTSD is out of control right now. You got to take away all the triggers, which is why I just needed to be by myself for a bit. My anxiety was through the roof. And I had been holding on to some past hurt and trauma that I keep thinking I'm working through, but really I've just been throwing it to the side. Like, oh, I'm fine, let's move on, you know? But I wasn't really working through it. And so that's why I fell. So, the past month I have been going to therapy. And I've been trying to release this trauma and this negative emotion buildup that has been trapped in many different places in my heart, in my mind, in my like chest and in my gut, you know, like, you know, when you say like, oh my gosh, I'm so upset, I'm sick to my stomach. There's something to that. Well, that's worry and fear and frustration. It gets stuck in your gut. Or like, my heart hurts. I am so sad, my heart hurts. Yeah. That's pain and trauma and heartache and whatever, you know, that you're going through. So I just had hit my done point. And here I thought I was doing great working through my stuff, but I was just, you know, stuffing it different places instead of actually dealing with it and releasing it. So that's what I've been working on this past month. It's been definitely a crazy roller coaster, but I can say instead of trying to balance on a pin, it's more so like, I don't know, what would it be? Like a step? I'm still balancing on it, but I can still have like a firm stand on that step. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, I don't feel like I have this huge foundation yet, but I feel like I'm not doing this crazy balancing act anymore. So that's good. Let's not do that. I'm not very good at balance anyway. So the analogy that makes sense to me is if I were to imagine my mind as a house, and in this house there's an attic, and things that I feel like I don't have time to deal with, or I don't have strength to deal with, or I thought I dealt with it, but really what I was doing was throwing it in the attic. Like, I'll deal with this later, or I'll handle it later, or whatever the case may be. Well, since I've been doing this for the last 17 years, maybe even more, maybe my entire life, that attic got really full. So full that I felt like I was suffocating. And it made sense to me that it got to the point where the attic was full, so whenever something came up that I needed to throw in my attic, I couldn't stuff anything else up in there because it was stuff full. And then my attic started crumbling down on top of me. And that's where I started feeling suffocated, and I started feeling like I couldn't breathe, like claustrophobic. My anxiety was spiked through the roof. Like, I just couldn't handle it anymore. And I'm finding, going through therapy, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's crap in this attic that, like, I tossed up there clear when I was like 10. When I was a teenager, went through marriage, whenever we had issues, I just throw it up there. Jen. So, I've been trying to clean out that attic. So I don't feel like I'm suffocating. And boy, it's been a really rough month, but I do know that is the only way to really truly heal from all the junk and all the sludge that has happened through my life. So, what does your attic look like? Is it getting full? Do you need to handle it and clean it up? Because don't let it get to the point where it caves in on you like it did me. I've learned something very important. A, girl, now I'm talking to myself. Girl, why were you allowing it to get that bad? Why? Here I thought I was trying to protect myself by just being like, it's okay, it's okay. When in reality, I was just making it harder. Harder for when I had to face it. You know? It would have been much easier to deal with one thing at a time instead of everything all at once. It was like I was drowning. For sure. So, B, I have also learned, okay, how can I help other people not do what I did? Well, first of all, I need to freely talk about it, freely express what I've been through, what I'm still going through, and maybe, just maybe, I can help somebody prevent their attic from caving in on them. I think that would be pretty awesome. Anyway, I'm not perfect. Who is? But I'm feeling a little bit better. There are good days and there are not so great days. This morning was a not so great day. I feel like I'm a terrible mother. But I'm also learning that I need to give myself grace because I've been through hell and back. Let's face it. I won't get into it because it involves other people and I just don't think people really need to know the nitty-gritty details, but we all have our hell and back, right? We all have our demons that we are facing. And in my case, I wasn't facing until I couldn't hold it any longer. So, what is my point? I guess my point is we all have attics or rugs that we sweep things under or closets that we stuff things in or whatever the analogy that speaks to you might be. But we if we really want to truly heal from those demons, and if we really want to truly reach our potential, it's time to do some spring cleaning, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm working on. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I will try to keep you updated as time progresses. But I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. Oh, and speaking of, I feel like it was a tender mercy. I feel like it was a tender mercy. I feel like it was the Lord saying, okay, Jen, it's time to work through this crap. Because honestly, my husband started a new job. I'm alone with the kids more often. I have way more responsibilities. Honestly, if I was still balancing on that tiny pin, I don't think I could do it. Honestly, I think I would have had to check myself into the hospital, and I'm not being dramatic, I'm being serious. So this started 2 weeks before my husband started his new job, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, but I can see the tender mercies in my experience. I knew that I needed to face those things, and I knew I needed to release those things in preparation to my new role in life. Jake has been working at home lately, and my mental illness has, when I say mental illness, I have pretty intense anxiety disorder and PTSD. And those things have pretty much controlled my life for the last several years. And so the Lord knew that I needed to face some things, and I really needed to do some spring cleaning before Jake is gone all the time. So I am very grateful for this past month. I am grateful that I have been able to release some things and to work through some things so that I feel like I can actually be a mother to my children, that I can take on more responsibilities. I can make sure their lunches are packed, their clothes are cleaned, the house is cleaned, dinner is ready, all the things. Because honestly, if you would have said, Jen, you need to do these things about 2 months ago, I would have had to check myself in the hospital. So definitely, I see the Lord's hands in things. So I encourage you that no matter how hard and crazy things might be, if the storm is just blowing so hard, you're having a hard time keeping upright, if you're in that chaos tornado, what is it that you need to face? And I also encourage you to look for the good, because even though my attic caved in, I knew that it was God's hand preparing me for this new stage in life. So I think that's all for today. Good luck, and I will talk to you next time.